The true cost of a narcissistic boss is lack of self-confidence, self-worth, anxiety, depression, insomnia, and even stomach ulcer. Here is the story of one of my ex-colleagues who suffered from a narcissistic abuse, and it took him almost 2 years to come back to life. Within months of the new boss joining, he developed full-blown panic attacks, insomnia, depression, anxiety, and it took him months to develop stomach ulcer because of the severe stress that he was under. So I pushed him to leave. I said, look, it's never going to get better. You need to leave because the environment is making you physically and mentally ill. Anything is better than that. So then the healing process started. And it first started off with him expressing, we talked for months and months and months. It took him over a year to just understand how he felt about the whole situation, to understand how much of that person took away from who he is, how much it impacted his self-esteem, his confidence. The person was destroyed. So he had to rebuild himself. And I'm glad that I could be there for him during the process. Also, although it was very painful from time to time. So it took us months talking about him expressing anger, frustration, defeat, feeling beaten, not knowing how to move forward, not knowing ever wanted to have a boss again, because now he was traumatized. He associated having a boss with that behavior. So we had to untangle that and say, and establish that that's not what it is. That was just that person. It's not that job. It's not being a boss or anything like that. So it took him almost a year to be okay and talk about that person less and less. But this is what happened after a year and a half. One night he sends me a message at 2 a.m. and he said, oh my God, I just woke up and all I want to do is write an email or a letter to her explaining everything that she did to me. So you see the length of that process. So I told him, I'm like, look, you can write that letter. It's a great therapeutic approach. And then you can decide later on whether to send it or not. So during that time, he also sorted out his mental and physical health. And it took him 2 years to overcome that process. But you know what's the worst part? That person has been reported for several misconducts throughout the years. And she's still in the position probably ruining other people's lives. So yeah, organizations are extremely vocal about employee well-being and leadership, but they don't really address any of these kind of things. They are also very worried about the financial cost of poor leadership, but I'm more worried about the human cost. Just like this person, destroyed physically and mentally, and took him 2 years to recover.